Hey guys, what's going on? Tony with VentureTube, and you're watching 2 Tip Tuesday, where I share 2 tips every other Tuesday to help you out there when you're fishing. Today's tips are going to help you catch more fish when you're out there trolling. I may even have more than 2 tips to share, so let's get started. Come on. Tip number 1 for trolling. The preferred bait that I use for trolling is a crankbait. Why? Because I can control my depth, either by the type of crankbait I'm using or the distance I throw it behind my kayak. You guys know from my other videos that I love to use square bill crankbaits for trolling. The reason being is they're nice side-to-side action, but the disadvantage of them normally is that they don't dive but to 4 to 5 feet. But when you're free spooling your line and casting out behind your kayak, and you have that square bill crankbait 70 feet behind your kayak, you're able to get to depths of about 10 feet with it. Sometimes even 12, depending again how far you free spool the bait behind your kayak. And again, I've caught tons of fish, I'm talking tons of nice fish, on a square bill crankbait. Well, I want to share with you a new type of bait. It's not that new, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, it's been out for a while. It is the scatter wrap, made by Rapala. Sorry, the wind is pretty rough. This guy right here. This is the Scatter Wrap Series SCRC05. So this has a swim depth of 6 to 8 feet. This is the Helsinki shad, Helsinki. What's unique about the scatter wrap is the bill. The bill on the scatter wrap is curved, unlike your traditional crankbaits that are flat. Get off there. See, the profile on that bill is nice and curved. What that does is when this bait is swimming through the water, it has a natural or erratic action that you normally wouldn't get with a square bill crankbait unless you were to hit it, bounce it off submerged structure like a log or some rocks to get that bass to hit it on that reaction bite. That structure is no longer needed because of the design of this bill. This bait will swim erratically, just like a real bait fish would. So with that erratic action, what that's going to do when you're trolling in deeper water is it's going to attract more fish. It's going to look more natural to the fish out there. For you guys who are just getting into trolling in your kayak and you don't know what baits to use, crankbaits are great. I mean, you can throw anything back there. Spinner baits, swim baits, I mean, you can catch them on anything just about. But crankbaits are my preferred choice, and not deep diving crankbaits. I like to get my bait as far away from the kayak as possible, so if I'm running my motor or I'm pedaling, I'm not scaring the schools of bait fish underneath the kayak. And normally I'm fishing in about 20 feet of water, so that puts my bait at about 10 to 12 feet. If you hadn't tried one, try it out and see if it doesn't increase your catch. The Rapala Scatter Wrap. Okay, so tip number 2 on trolling. Again, I've told you I've caught tons of fish, but I tell you what, these treble hooks on a crankbait are good for catching your fingers. I've lost a lot of fish too because of these treble hooks. A lot of times when you're trolling, you have your drag set loose just in case you do hit bottom. You don't want to break off your line or lose your crankbait. You don't have to set the hook when you're trolling. All you have to do is reel in as fast as you can. After you see that rod hit, you know he's on there. Just get that rod out of the rod holder and start reeling as fast as you can. If you have a pair of split ring pliers, all you need to do is take these treble hooks off and put you a single hook on both of them, front and back. I guarantee you, you're going to increase your catch. There's a particular bait I use. It's a Academy H2O Express bait. It's the black and silver shad. I've swapped it out to single hooks, and I have yet to miss a fish trolling with that bait. So this is a brand new bait. Obviously I haven't changed it out yet, but I will change it out. It's not going to affect the action, but change those hooks out. That's tip number 2. Change your hooks out to single hooks, and I guarantee you, you're going to land more of those trolling fish. Now I'm gonna give you guys a little bonus. It's very cold out. I hadn't been able to fish, so I'm sorry I hadn't posted any fishing videos, but this Arctic blast that's coming through the nation is killing me. So anyway, I'll show you a little trick that if you don't want to pay $7 or $8 or $6 for one of these scatter wraps, you can actually somewhat make your own. It's not quite as effective as this, but it does work. Let me show you what it is. Here's another crankbait. This is a H2O Express Academy brand square bill crankbait that I've caught tons of fish on. This one I actually found washed up on the bank, and the hooks are pretty rusted, so I got to swap them out. Plus I'm going to swap them out to the single ones. But anyway, this is your standard square bill H2O Express crankbait, and what I've done is I've taken a heat gun and heated up the bill, and I've curved each side slightly upward, just like the scatter wrap. Now obviously the square bill on the front of this isn't as large as the bill on the front of this one, but nevertheless this still gives this bait a little bit of erratic action when it's swimming. It'll tend to want to go left, it'll straighten up, sometimes it'll go right. It makes a difference. You can buy 2 of these for the price of one of those. So that's the bonus, guys. If you don't want to buy a scatter wrap, play around with your own crankbaits. I have tons of crankbaits that I find washed up on the banks and they're rusted, and I take them home, clean them up, sometimes repaint them, put some fresh hooks on, and bam, there you go. I'm off trolling and catching fish with free baits. And play around with it. If you guys got suggestions or have done something similar to this, let me know. I'd love to know what you did to your crankbait and if it's landing fish for you. So anyway, that's a little bonus. So just a recap: scatter wraps, get that erratic action when you're out there trolling. Keep your drag loose. You don't have to set the hook. Reel in as fast as you can to land that fish, and change those hooks out. Change them out to a single hook. I guarantee you, you're going to land more fish. And the bonus, again, play around with some baits. See what you can come up with. They're going to bite it, I guarantee you. See if we can get some footage of what this thing looks like swimming in the water. You know it's too cold and she doesn't want to get in the water. I don't know if you could tell right then, but that bait just darted right toward the rocks for a second. It started going to the right, then it came back toward me. Went to the right, went to the left, just went to the right. And again, I don't know if you guys are seeing this or not, but it does work. But that's it. The homemade poor man's scatter wrap, I guess. Square bill crankbait. Alright guys, that about wraps up this episode of 2 Tip Tuesday. I gotta get back inside because I'm just a big wuss, I guess. Anyway, if you guys have done something similar to this square bill crankbait modification, let me know. Shoot me a comment on this video. Let me know if you tried it, and if you got any ideas of your own, I'm dying to know, because I'm always eager to try new things out when it comes to catching these Lake Conroe fish. And hey guys, I have a website now. It's www.venturetube.net. So check it out. I have my motors on there. I have my stakeout pole on there. I'm getting my buffs in, t-shirt stickers, and hopefully some more things in the future as business progresses. But again, I appreciate you guys' support. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode. Come on. How do you like that?